Hello, it's Emma Mills here, and welcome to episode 118 of MiTV. And luckily, I still have these emails coming in of your problems and issues and things that you would like me to tackle in MiTV. So thank you for making my content creation so much easier. I should have done this weeks ago. And actually, I would recommend anybody who is creating content of any description, video, podcast, emails, ask people on your list, ask people on your social, what help do they need with. God, it makes things a lot more easier. So I had an email from Adam. Hello, Adam. And he had two main issues, and it was staff and his team. Now, the main things he wanted help with were, one, how do you make sure your team how do you make sure your team are doing what they're meant to be doing while you're out of the office? I guess, in other words, not taking the mick. And two, managing mobile phone and PC usage. But really, I feel like that's just a bit of a minor detail, because if you solve the top problem, the rest of it all just becomes really irrelevant anyway. And really interestingly, just before this video, I was just talking to Johnny, who is sat behind this camera, and we were talking about the culture in our office and how actually it's very, very different now. And we have worked very, very hard on it, like very hard. And I guess we, especially myself, Matt and Amber, we take it as a top priority, making sure that the culture in our office is friendly, welcoming, but also a place where you can give ideas, say what you think. You never, even if somebody does something wrong, they don't sit in fear of me getting angry, Matt getting angry. It just doesn't happen, because I don't do that. Even though I might be thinking it in here, I don't. It's really, really smart thing and really crucial thing that you do. Otherwise, if your team think they're going to be on the brunt of something, they will never ever own up to anything, never solve any problems. So we were just talking about the culture in my PA, and it is nowhere near perfect or finished or done, and it probably never is. But what I was saying to Johnny was, so yesterday I was in London, and Johnny was saying, I think like the culture is really good, the team seems to be like the best you've ever had. And from my point of view, I know with this team, I'm actually able to come out of the office a lot more. So I spent Tuesday, Wednesday in London, and the contacts I had from them in terms of asking questions or things that needed to be solved was minimal, to be honest. I think Matt had one or two questions about something recruitment based, but that was it. And so aside from, I don't know, customers contacting me, whatever, my actual team, they get on with what they are doing. And I know that and I don't ever think, God, I wonder if they're like just all sat about now eating, biscuits and drinking tea. I don't ever think that, because everybody knows what they're meant to be doing. And it gets done. And via various dashboards and methods and stats and things we record, like we know it gets done, and client work gets delivered. So, for me, focusing on that as opposed to how do I know my team aren't, for want of a better word, just like taking the mick and doing whatever they feel like while you're out as soon as your back's turned. It's a much, I'm sure you can get things like tracking on PCs to see what they've been doing, and there's all these different paraphernalia that you can do, but the much bigger the much bigger issue to solve is your team culture and what is expected of you and of them generally. So we work really hard at my PA to make sure that things like not leaving work for your team members to complete because you can't be bothered, or like courtesy, or being polite and courteous to customers, and not being a dick, for want of a better word, to other team members. We don't do any of this stuff, and if anybody does it, it's like brought in immediately. And our team energy is all about moving the business forward, everybody enjoying what they're doing. If you've got an issue, come and speak to us about it. So those are the actual issues that we tackle. I don't tackle, okay, is Matt, not singling you out, but is Matt on his phone and is he actually messaging a customer, or is he, I don't know, looking at something board game related? I don't think about that, because the things that we do focus on, like, is everybody acting in a good and proper manner and way that my PA expect? That is the thing that I know he is doing what he needs to do. And actually, whether a team member has a quick look at something personal for a minute, but actually gets the job done and is happy and looks after my customers, that is the right answer and questions to ask. So my main focus on this topic is, don't get lost in the nitty-gritty of staff are hard work, staff are this, staff are that, stereotyping what staff are like, because it doesn't have to be like that. Instead, look at your team culture as a whole and what your business stands for and what the team effort's like and what it's about, and do you go out as a team together, especially when you're a small business. I feel like it's more important when you're a small business, because if there's 5 of you or 10 of you, whatever, one person will all of a sudden, if they are not right, if they do not live by your rules, will make a massively negative input. I call them a terrorist. But if you've got like one person who is not part of what you are trying to achieve, you need to get rid. So for me, Adam, if you're looking at how when you're out, you know that your team are doing the right thing by you, that they're not taking the Michael, they're not wasting time, the much bigger picture is to look at is the culture of the business, and that your team respect you, respect the customers, respect what you're trying to achieve, and that there's a real team effort there, because that will solve everything overall. It will make customers happy, it will make you as a business owner happy, it will make themselves happy because they're in a good, positive, vibey atmosphere. And actually, just before I forget, one thing that does sum it up really well, and I have mentioned it in MiTV many episodes ago, is a book called Fish. It's not very long. We gave a copy to all of our employees, although Rebecca did just completely admit she's never even read it. So back to the drawing board for her, and she's going to read this week for sure. But it is a really good book, and it's a parable about a lady who works in a super boring office with negative vibes, with no energy, with no good attitude or positive teamwork, and she stops by a fish stall, which of course your vision of a fish stall is it's not a great job, not really a great place to work, but the people who own the fish stall and the team on the fish stall make it their absolute mission to make this the best, most vibrant, energetic, fun, positive fish stall ever, and the team all take individual responsibility for making where they work fun, and there isn't like 10 people on the fish stall giving a great time and one who's completely negative. It's the team as a whole all take responsibility. This is a really great story and book to give to any team, and as a starting point on how a really great fun team can work together, and most importantly have a really good time in the process. So if you need a little bit of help, or just if you need to like get it in your mind first how it can work, Fish, get this off Amazon. Or Adam, maybe I'll send you one actually, I'll put one in the post here. So that is my thoughts on interruptions, and not interruptions, sorry, is managing staff when you're out of the office and wondering and knowing, are they doing the right thing by you? Focus on the culture and the energy, and everything else will flow with it. So I hope this, I feel like it was very talkative, MiTV, will help you to get your head out of the dirt and up into the clouds, where you can enjoy all the fun stuff to do in your business, which is the stuff you do well, you enjoy the most. And I will see you next week for episode 119. See you then. Bye-bye.